Suppose a family member said to you, if you decide to be successful, joyful, and happy, I'm gonna harm myself. Would you not become successful, joyful, and happy in your life? Would you resign your life? Would you sacrifice your future, your existence, to make them not do some dumb shit when they threaten you emotionally, blackmail you emotionally? See, a lot of y'all need to hear that type of contrast, because whether you recognize it or not, most people are emotionally blackmailing you into keeping you complacent. You're waiting on someone's permission, or you're concerned with someone's revocation of your choice to be successful, joyful, and happy. Whatever you, why your world is yours, really think about why you haven't made these moves. Most of you, like I said, are waiting for somebody else's approval to improve. A lot of y'all don't do what y'all want to do, be who y'all want to be, act as you want to act, achieve as you want to achieve, because truly, you wait for someone else's validation to see if it's okay for you to make that move. I've always said it. I only validate myself with the advancing act. The fact that I made the move is what validates me. In a world full of individuals who need validation before they make any move, you know, I reflect a lot. And I've been always going through different phases of deepening the degree of success and deepening the degree of autonomy and deepening the degrees of freedom, because that's the ultimate goal. Individuals want freedom, the ability for the soul to express itself in any which direction without constraints. You have many constraints. If you don't have money, you have many constraints. And if I may say on this video, I've solved all the problems that money cannot solve. And I know plenty of people with loads of money, and money cannot solve those problems. But as I say that, we know the day room dummies are gonna create an argument to justify their incompetence and inadequacies by saying, yeah, that's why money's evil. No, I've solved the problems that money can't solve, but there are plenty of problems that only money can solve. And you motherfuckers have a lot of problems that only money can solve. So as we talk about freedom, sober, a degree of freedom. A degree of freedom from being pulled by that urge, pulled by that demon, your soul being snatched out of its seat because you hear that call, that itch, that thing calling you, that drink calling you, that nicotine calling you, that weed calling you. You don't really want to go to it. You know you a bitch for going back to it every time you told yourself you would quit. It's your intelligence inside of you telling you that you're going against your own best interests, but you're too much of an emotional slave, a bitch, to just quit and stand on some goddamn self-respect. That's all it ever was with sobriety. It was like, are you this much of an emotional bitch, a slave, that you can't even control yourself? You're a slave to this plant, to this substance, to this concoction? Fucking, what's wrong with you, Sheikhy? Anyway, sober, freedom. Fit, physical freedom. You're not walking around anxious. You're not walking around physically incompetent. Someone could take advantage of you. This is why women walk around neurotic, bro. Women walk around neurotic because they live in a world where 40% of the population has automatic physical leverage on them. They're vulnerable and susceptible physically. So especially as a male, you would want to level the playing field as much as possible as you move through these streets. You fat, titty-having niggas, you skinny, brittle, no muscle, can't do a push-up or a pull-up or a dip, let alone 100, 200. The fuck is wrong with you? You're not trained to do shit but get your ass kicked and get turned into a slave. Physically. Bitch. Real nigga shit. I don't want to drag it out, but sober, fit, enlightened. Enlightened is intellectual freedom. Most of you can't even defend yourself mentally. You get into these environments where everybody's playing these fucking mind games, and you don't have any true mental equipment. You don't have any true mental power. I'm not talking about will. I'm not talking about imagination. I'm talking about true intellectual prowess to the degree where nobody can fuck with your mind. You're actually ineffable. The guard gate of your conscious mind, your subconscious mind, is a motherfucker that nobody can get past, because that intellectual gatekeeper, that intellectual guard of your mind, knows how to kick some fucking ass. Intellectual black belt. And lastly, the money. The money is the constraint on your physical existence, on your material and creature existence. So it's about freedom. And like I said, I've solved all the problems that money can't solve, right? Yeah, you haven't done that. And you haven't solved all the problems that money can solve. I've done that as well. So as I'm leading people, and I've been leading myself, so now we get to this point where friends, family, all types of people who chose a certain path, which proves itself and has proven itself to be a dead end and ineffective, and now they have to live a lifestyle and report to doing a particular kind of work with a cap on it that they don't want to do, show up to do things they don't want to do, at times they don't want to do it, to deal with people they don't want to deal with, just for money, when they said it wasn't about the money. But they never woke up for personal development. They never took time aside. Even if you had to do a job, I respect anybody who's just not sitting on their ass, but you can't just do what you have to do. Anybody who just did what they had to do and no more is a fucking bitch. You showed up every day, being consistent and doing the bare minimum just to get by over an extended period of time. And now time has gone by and you're the same person after 10, 15, 20, 30 years. And you're outdated. You're outdated. Most of you are obsolete on mad levels. You haven't chosen to personally develop or grow in how long? When's the last time you challenged your beliefs? When's the last time you grew your mind? When's the last time you adopted new skills? You thought in different directions? Many people have never done that. They've been the same person they've been since maybe 18, 16, some people 21. When did you stop? The degrees of freedom in your life will be proven by the degree of growth that you have. So what would you do if an individual was like, I'm gonna harm myself if you go and be joyful, happy, and prosperous? Would you not do it? Fuck them. Motherfuckers rather sit in a room, bro. A lot of you watching this video are hoes. You straight up bitches. Mentally weak as fuck. You rather sit in a room and slowly kill yourself, drinking some bullshit bottle, smoking some bullshit substance, eating bullshit food, tucked off in a corner like a fucking gremlin. You rather sit in a room and slowly corrode away than get some motherfucking help. That's the highest level of bitch. Because you gotta realize that admitting is not submitting. When you admit, that's the strongest level. And that's the first stage of growth, right? They say with addiction, you have to first admit it, that you're an addict, that you fucked up. You see what I'm saying? So whatever why your world is yours, admitting is not submitting. But some of you have so much of that pride. Pride is gay. Get it? Pride is gay. Pun intended. And you got to recognize that you got so much pride that you out here losing in life. Whatever why your world is yours. I got people on my program that ask me questions like this all the time, you know. You got family members around you. You got peers around you who tell you about your ambitions and tell you, don't take advice from people who are not doing better than you want to do in life. Don't take advice from people who have been on earth for 1.5, 2 times longer than you, 3 times longer than you, and haven't amounted to shit but a mediocre ass existence. In a world where you can look left and right and find plenty of people who figured it the fuck out and are proven testaments of how incompetent said people are. Just don't be another incompetent day room dumb fuck. You know? Why your world is yours. It's about freedom. Brokest people in the world always say the same shit after they can't afford nothing. Oh, I'm rich in spirit. I'm rich in mind. It starts in the mind. You're broke as fuck. You're poor. And the reason that you're poor is because you say delusional shit like that. Now, I can understand a person who is waging true, effective war on their circumstances, because everybody who ever made $1 million, $10 million, $100,000, $500,000 started with zero. But when we recognize and we look at and audit people's actual behavior patterns, actual actions, actual courses of thought, which lead to courses of action, because that's what you get on my program for. I provide you the correct course of thought. Because if I give you the correct course of action and you don't have the correct course of thought, you will produce a different course of action. So once we correct your courses of thought and get you aligned with the thinking patterns, with the inward behaviors that produce the inevitable outward behaviors, outward effects, then you get the results. Once you correct the mind, you correct the paradigm. As I said earlier in this, it's not about simply willpower and not simply about delusional imagination. The mind is more vast and more complex of a coordinated concert of faculties than an isolated utilization of will and an isolated utilization of imagination. Erroneously at that. Why your world is yours. Consider the vibrations raised. So are you going to let people emotionally blackmail you and trick you into staying as you are because they're miserable? If a person ever in their life told me that it was them going to kill themselves or them going to harm themselves, if I left, I swear to God, I'd leave so fast. I wouldn't even give a fuck if they did that. Because you trying to hurt me. You trying to hurt me because you a hurt person. And instead of actually choosing to be a better person and growing, you're communicating that it's not that you can't, it's that you're unwilling to grow as a person. And because you're unwilling to grow as a person, now I must sacrifice my existence for you? Fuck you, you narcissistic piece of shit. Don't ever think that I could ever get beamed. This is why I tell you, you got to get the mental, intellectual fortitude. Consider the vibrations raised. 2025 is here. We about 7 days in. All I got to say to everybody is that we're here to accomplish shit. We're no longer sitting in this wishful, arbitrary, non-concrete, intangible, non-accountable outcomes. Sober, fit, enlightened, and rich. As the fuck we should. I don't have to defend why getting money is not wrong. You over there defend your poverty all the fuck you want. You have to be the bum. We understand life very clearly. As we mentioned earlier, we've solved the actual problems that money can never solve. This is why we will always be with or without the highest level of ourselves. And this is why it's impossible for us to actually go without. We may have contraction phases. We may have expansion phases. It's not even may. We will have contraction phases. We will have expansion phases. But the expansion phases will always be amplified in multiplicates of that which preceded. And the contraction phase is only the universal ping pong. The inhale, the exhale. Typical. The tick, the tock, homie. We know how this shit go. But as long as we focused on being our best always, forever, it don't matter. We just gonna continue to be that. So once you understand that it's truly about becoming the individual who's unconditionally productive at the highest level, then you'll realize why you've been missing out on everything that you've ever wanted. It's because you sit back and you're not productive. Sober, fit, enlightened, and rich. And I want you to know one thing. Pay attention to the fact that I never miss. You can hear me say all these beautiful things. You can hear me say all these colorful things. Sometimes I feel like going dead and monotone because my personality is so vibrant. I'm such a captivating individual that you end up paying attention to me instead of the message. I know this. This is why a lot of times I don't want to show my face. This is why a lot of times but I am a very charismatic and colorful person. But always remember, it's the message. And remember that I don't miss. I'm professional. I'm a professional soul. No matter what group of humans I've ever been around, one thing they can say is that I'm extremely professional. I show up on time to the gym, 5 a.m. on the dot every day. Everybody witnesses it. They hope I miss, some of them. They anticipate, maybe is he gonna miss today? Never miss, ever. 5 a.m. on the dot, there. That translates into my work ethic. The workout is not simply about muscles and violence, and that's a part of it. I mean, like the capacity to defend and protect yourself, right? Not the capacity to just simply walk around being a violent, fucking belligerent piece of shit. But the capacity to defend yourself, right? The capacity to be able physically able, physically capable is a thing. But the inherent and intrinsic value principle is the work ethic cultivation. To get a certain degree of work ethic. And when you show up to the gym every day and you don't get the results, and you show up and you look the same or look worse over time, it shows that you're a half-assed motherfucker. That's why we give you the macros. Excuse me. So we don't miss. We don't miss a wake up. We don't miss a 444 post. We don't miss being at the gym at 5 a.m. on the dot. We have never missed any of that. Broken hand and everything. Never missed. We're professional. So it's about becoming a professional at living, at being yourself. You know, my OG says people suck at being themselves. It's a fact. I'm professionally me. So no matter what job you put in front of me, I will get over the learning curve very quickly because I'm intelligent. And after that, everything is professional. Shit gets done. A world full of people who don't even show up for themselves on time, who can't even take care of themselves correctly. You are your report card to the world. You are your resume to the world. So when we look at you, it's like, who the fuck is that? What the fuck is that? Sloppy Joe, sloppy bitch. Yeah. That's a D-. A lot of y'all walking around D-. A lot of y'all walking around Fs, straight up failing. A couple C+. We ain't going for that. To get into this program, you need to be an A+ individual. A- at worst. But that A- is gonna have to get corrected, because who the fuck is gonna respect somebody having an A-? Motherfuckers be satisfied with a B+. Motherfucker, if you don't do the best in this world, the way you do anything is the way you do everything. That means your work ethic in anything, in any endeavor, is gonna reflect in other endeavors. It is what it is. And lastly, the homie said some fire shit the other day. He said that if you want to piss off a real person, tell him a lie. If you want to piss off a fake bitch, tell him the truth. I get these comments from peers and family members as if I'm being disrespectful when I simply tell them the truth and I don't agree with their bullshit. I don't agree with the bullshit. Disrespectful. You know that old vibe of like, elders are right because they're elders? Nah, nigga. Nah. You wrong. You dead wrong. And you so used to motherfuckers not disagreeing with you that you think you right all the time. Nah, nigga. And you think that somebody disagreeing with you is disrespectful, or somebody checking you on your falsehoods and your frippery and your bullshit is disrespectful. Truth telling and accountability is the highest form of love. I don't care what you say or how you consider this. It's the facts. I'm not compromising facts for your bullshit. So you want to piss off a fake motherfucker? Tell him the truth. You want to piss off a real person? Tell him a lie. I hate the fake shit. That's why I used to trip acid so hard. Smoke weed while I'm on the acid trip, double down on a couple tabs, drink some. Yeah, get into that shamanic state, Sheikhy Chic. Wow, I need that truth, bitch. What the fuck? Sitting outside in the rain, legs crossed Indian style on the concrete somewhere in Bed-Stuy, nigga. The whole party jumping down the block. I'm in the rain communicating with God. You ain't never, like, what? Montclair on me, nigga. I only had $20 for a belt. Montclair on me, worldwide boss, nigga. Fuck is you talking about? You know? God damn, like. So it's about making you a more effective human being. You don't got too much time left on this earth. And it would be wise for you to get the answers so that you could get the things you need to get done by thinking the way you need to think. Right now, you're not thinking the way you need to think. Or you just got really low standards and you just don't believe in yourself and you believe you deserve less because everybody is exactly how they believe they should be. And like I said earlier, if you're not waging war on your inferior circumstances, on your mediocrity, then you believe you deserve mediocrity. Whatever you why your world is yours, like we said, we're only here for the superior, self-worth having individuals, A+ minded individuals who need to advance and accelerate themselves because they was born around a bunch of bullshit niggas and bullshit people who ain't have the fucking answers and who walk around oblivious on some day room shit. Don't let nobody bully you and emotionally blackmail you or none of that shit. You saw Sheikhy Chic this whole time. Nobody validated me, no way, no how. I made moves for my goddamn self, as my goddamn self, for my goddamn self. If it was up to them, I'd still be broke, fucked up, and inferior. Some type of subordinate to them, who really never amounted to shit anyway, besides creating a whack-ass life that they gotta live with because they chose to not grow as individuals. I got the blueprint to life, homie. Consider the vibrations raised. Evolution, only solution, self-mastery, only success. We just gonna keep winning. Consider the vibrations raised.